day on the car, and then we've got the weather. You're laughing really in this country, aren't you?
This is BBC Radio Cornwall.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Do you know, last week when I was playing that trail, I was like, I can't play it. You know, it was absolutely chucking it down. But now it feels fitting. We had such a beautiful day today, didn't we? Long may it continue. Now, the Mindful Art Club is a club which hopes to improve mental health and reduce social isolation using creativity and conversation. I caught up with Emma Sprawson, one of the brains behind the operation, and asked her what it's all about.
So Mindful Art Club started 4 years ago now. It started because me and Peggy met when we were working at a rehab called Broadreach, and it closed down really suddenly. So me and Peggy were wondering what to do next, and we still wanted to sort of help people with mental health problems and in addiction and everything. And we sort of combined our skills to start Mindful Art Club.
So what do you think it is then, Emma, about art that is really good for your mental well-being? Why do you think it just works? Why do you think it's got that kind of transformative way?
Well, I can see from my own experience and my mental health problems in the past that art is the only thing that sort of keeps me, it's called being in the flow, when you're not thinking about the past and the future and you're just concentrating on something. And there's been thousands of research papers which backs this up, which says being creative, especially being creative in a group, is the best thing for your mental health.
Yeah, I can see that because they do the colouring books, don't they, where you can, and it is actually one of the things that I've done in the past because I had postnatal depression. I remember somebody giving me one of those books, and it allows you to basically be in the moment, because it's really hard, isn't it, when you've got depression or something else going on, to actually be in the moment and get out of your head almost, isn't it?
Yeah, really hard. So the combination of like talking, mindfulness and then art is, we found just like a really wonderful thing to just not obsess about what's going on in your life. You can, just get a brief reprieve from all the madness that is going on in the world.
Yeah, and it's tough at the moment, isn't it, Emma? It's really tough out there.
It certainly is. I spent 16 years working at Broadreach, and I can't begin to even tell you how many conversations I've had about mental health and people's stories about their mental health. So I'm a good listener, and I really like hearing people's stories. That's always been a massive interest for me. Just hearing what makes people tick, what's happened to them in their lives and how we can help.
Yeah, because sometimes it is just that. You just need somebody to listen. Sometimes you don't almost need somebody to fix. You just want somebody to offload to, don't you?
Yeah, and it's quite an unusual thing nowadays, isn't it, to just be able to speak really truthfully about what's going on for you without being judged, without scaring people. So we find in our groups that people have very honest conversations. We really get down to the nitty-gritty very quickly about what's really going on with people, and we find that people share what's going on, and then someone else in the group will say, we've had that going on too, and this is what really helped me. So it's that recognition among people that the human, of human suffering.
Yeah, because you're right. Sometimes it's just somebody else going, yeah, me too, and it just makes you feel better, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. You think, thank God I'm not on my own. It's this awful feeling where we're all stuck in our own heads, and we think maybe we're the only ones feeling like this, but we're not.
Yeah, and that's the tonic, isn't it? It's almost like, so the art really in the Mindful Art Club is sort of a backdrop for opening up, it sounds like.
Yeah, totally, because we found that it's much easier to open up when you're kind of doing something with your hands.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had counselling, but when you have counselling, you're that intense thing when you're sitting opposite someone and you've got to look into their eyes and they ask you loads of probing questions, and it can be quite kind of scary and intimidating. So it's just the kind of process of sitting there and, talking to people, but you're also kind of involved in doing something else. And, sometimes people say they just like sitting there listening to the sort of burble of conversation going on around them, and that's what they like about it, and they don't have to talk themselves.
Yeah, it's escapism, really, isn't it? And what's the reaction been like?
Amazing. We've had such great feedback. We did a a project with Plymouth University last year to measure our impact, like a 9-month evaluation project. And yeah, the impact of Mindful Art Club has been incredible on people's mental health.
Oh, that's great, Emma. That's really good to hear. And if somebody's listening thinking, this is what I need, can anybody join? How does it work?
Yeah, no, anybody can join. Just look at our website, www.mindfulartclub.co.uk. It's got a list of the groups there. You can book online, but if you don't like booking online, you know, sometimes people don't like pressing links and all that kind of thing. Just turn up.
I love that.
And, you know, really good thing that's happened this year is that we've got a 1.5 year funding from the People's Health Lottery to run a group for people struggling with addiction. So that's like a really sustainable thing. And it's been running for 6 months so far, and it's got some really amazing results. So if anyone who's listening knows someone that's struggling with addiction, do you come along?
So that was Emma Sprawson from the Mindful Art Club. You can contact them at www.mindfulartclub.co.uk. And if you've been impacted by anything you heard just there in our chat, then you can always contact BBC Action Line.